Welcome to another episode. Today we'll be replacing the CVT fluid on this 2008 Nissan Sentra. So that being said, let's go ahead and let's begin.
Once the vehicle is secured on jack stands, if you take a look, right here you have the transmission pan. Just to give you an idea of where this is. Right here you have the oil pan. That's the drain plug for the oil. This is toward the passenger side. On the driver's side, you have the transmission pan. And this happens to be the drain bolt. This is a 19mm nut that we need to remove. And I'll show you an easy way to remove this because these can be relatively tight from the factory. So an easy way to remove this bolt, get yourself a ratchet or a wrench. And what I'm going to do is tap the end with a heavy hammer. This is around 3 or 4 pounds, so you want to just tap the end of your wrench or ratchet, and that's it. Now it's nice and loose. And then of course grab your drain pan and just remove the bolt. Again, be careful because the fluid can be quite warm. Now once the fluid finishes draining from the pan, just clean it up, install a new washer, and reinstall the drain bolt. And then of course just tighten up the bolt. Now what you want to do is measure how much came out of that drain pan. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so once you wrap that up, here's your motor. Toward the driver's side, right here you have the upper radiator hose. Then you have the transmission dipstick. This is the charging pipe. This is what they call a charging pipe. It's essentially the dipstick, and this is where we need to install the new fluid. So what we're going to do is remove this dipstick, install a funnel, and I happen to measure 4 quarts or 1 gallon. That's what came out of the drain pan. So I'm going to reinstall 4 quarts, and then we'll start up the car, drive it around for a little bit, warm it up, and then we'll go ahead and check the fluid level. Now this dipstick does not just come out. There's a little tab on the side here. You need to push in that tab, and then you'll be able to remove the dipstick from the charging tube. So I'm just going to use a little flathead here, press in this tab, and there you go. Go ahead and insert the funnel. And then we can go ahead and add 4 quarts of transmission fluid or CVT fluid. Then go ahead and reinstall the dipstick, and then we'll start up the car, warm it up, drive it around for maybe 10 minutes, and then we'll check the level. Okay, so the car is properly warmed, and I've checked for leaks. Everything is in good shape. So now what we need to do is go through the gear selector. So reverse, neutral, drive the low gear, and then back up, drive, neutral, reverse, and then park. Okay, so now we'll check the fluid. So the first step is go ahead, remove the dipstick here. Now notice this direction. Let me show you. Go ahead, wipe the dipstick. Now when you reinsert the dipstick, what you want to do is rotate this 180 degrees. In other words, you don't want this to clip into that charging tube. You want to rotate it and push it as far down as it can go into the tube. So push it all the way down and then pull it back out. And let me just zoom out here, it's a little blurry. If you take a look, it's a tad below this mark, so I just need to add a little bit more and then we'll be in good shape.